Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there, welcome back.
So this was a video that we did on Patreon. That was a Patreon exclusive. Again, new videos going up on Patreon all the time. We want to thank everybody for their support over there.
Thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely. Lots going on. Have you guys seen the movie Dune? Have you seen part 2? Well, please don't share anything about part 2 because we haven't watched that yet, but we did watch Dune and also the original, which is many years ago. It's interesting. Dune, just to give you a summary here, says a noble family becomes embroiled in a war for control over the galaxy's most valuable asset, while its heir becomes troubled by visions of a dark future. A mythic and emotionally charged hero's journey. Dune tells the story of Paul Atreides. Atreides rhymes with Pleiades. A brilliant and gifted young man born into a great destiny beyond his understanding, who must travel to the most dangerous planet in the universe to ensure the future of his family and his people, as malevolent forces explode into conflict over the planet's exclusive supply of the most precious resource in existence, a commodity capable of unlocking humanity's greatest potential. Only those who can conquer their fear will survive. Interesting. Yes, actually, definitely something I would think worth watching, and I hear part 2 was really good as well. So this is about something called spice, which has the ability to enhance life and also psychic abilities. And at this point in time, truly, humans, if it wasn't for the dark system, would be finding themselves in a position of life extension and amazing psychic abilities that would be developing right now in everybody, for the most part. And this is the Dune project, Deep Underground Neutrino Experiment. And Red Pill Drifter shares this. Are we all going to just skim over the fact that CERN scientists are going to start beaming neutrinos in underground tunnels 800 miles between South Dakota and Illinois? Interesting, right? Now, neutrinos, in case you don't know, are the most abundant particle out there with mass. It was thought that they were so small that they don't have mass, but they do have mass. And neutrino, neutral, so neutrally charged. And just what I pick up is that neutrinos, while we might look at them as almost insignificant in some ways, and since they are the most abundant thing out there with mass, I think of it as being that they're not polarized. And so that makes me just wonder if it's just something that has potential to be polarized or charged in some way. And if it is so abundant, then that's an awful lot of untapped energy just sitting out there. This is from Fermilab, who is part of this deep underground experiment that's going on. As you see, the deep underground neutrino experiment. This is, again, international scientists from like 30-something countries are going to be coming. This is Sanford Underground Research Facility in South Dakota. And, of course, what are they doing? They're building deep underground bases. Yeah, of course, nothing ever gets spent significant amounts of money on that they can't turn into some sort of military project. As you see, 1,500 meters underground, pretty close to a mile underground, they're going to have this facility. Well, I mean, again, they show us one, they have a dozen, or maybe it's 100. This is just the way the system works. As you see, they're showing it compared to soccer field. They say about 8 soccer fields. Maybe it's 80. Again, we are always the last to know. And in reality, this is what they're showing us, as we can imagine. What is it they're really trying to do? As they say, oh, well, CERN's not about opening portals. Yeah, it's about opening portals. Again, people have remote viewed this and seen that it's very, very demonic. And here, well, of course, this is just about understanding the universe. No, again, we have that trickle-down thing going on with different ETs that have given technology to the system that's here. And, you see they're going to fill it with 17,000 tons of liquid argon and cool it to 184 degrees Celsius. What I look at and think again is, what's their intent with this? I find it interesting that in the movie Dune, you're talking about the most rarest of rare items. And here we're talking about the most abundant. It seems that they're, opposite. But this is what the system does always. They give us opposites. This is a lecture. It's just under an hour for those that want to understand neutrinos again. And go ahead and deep dive into some of the science. Again, this is the most abundant particle with mass. And the sun is always giving off neutrinos. And again, in that lecture, they're talking about the fact that you might look at this as a measuring stick, so to speak, about the health of the sun by looking at the amount of neutrinos that the sun is giving off. And so we're always blasted with this. All the time, neutrinos are flowing through us and the earth and everything. So, there's nothing to fear, right? But what if you could take something that was so abundant and charge it and give it a purpose? This is exactly what magic's all about. It's also what prayers are all about, and any form of intent that tries to, again, make reality conform to some particular individual or group's line of thinking and what they desire to bring about. These are the two leading scientists that are going to be running this show. I just find it very, very interesting that it's Dune, and the movie Dune was out again about spice and longevity, human potential, psychic abilities, paranormal abilities. It's just fascinating to see how things mirror everything that's out there, but often in a different light. Like we were saying, we're talking about the most abundant particle. In the movie, it's the most rarest of rare things. But what are they really trying to do is the question.
Well, I look at particles from the sun, and I look at the sun, and the sun actually holds our future. It holds our future. So with these little neutrinos coming from the sun, are they trying to gather them in mass so that they can somehow read our future? Are they, I know Mike was talking about the neutral aspect of them. Are they trying to control creation in some way, shape, or form? But from my understanding and what I have seen with these neutrinos, they already have a purpose. But I think the scientists are trying to see if they can somehow mitigate or redirect them to make their purpose. Right. And it's not going to be possible, but these guys are going to try, because that's in their nature. And we've talked about that before. It's like, why does a scorpion sting? It stings because it's in its nature. It can't help it. It doesn't make it good or bad. It just has to do something like that. And that's what these guys are like. And I get irritated with science because I was listening to that lecture on neutrinos, and every other sentence is, well, we used to think this thing, but now we've learned that it's not this thing. And that's just how science is. I mean, every other word he comes out. So they really don't know what the heck they're doing. So they're playing with this energy.
No, well, I think that they want to give the thought that they don't know what they're doing. But at the highest level, they know exactly what they're doing. But I think, again, many of the scientists that'll be on these teams don't have a clue about what they're doing. But sometimes they might start to understand, and that might be a problem.
Well, I do see a problem in the sense that this information is already being shielded psychically. All of these guys here are shielding their minds from the intentions of what they're doing. But we know darn good and well that I don't think there's any good intention when you try to control anything that Mother Nature or Father Sun has to do. And I just think back to Atlantis. I can't help it. Atlantis fell because of their own desire to tinker with the forces of nature, and it didn't go well. So I don't see this as a very good thing.
Well, yeah, again, it's the system, and the system's purpose is always about control. And we look over here in Vietnam and you see Super Typhoon Yagi. We have crazy weather going on, and I cannot stop the connection because in my mind, as somebody that started studying the Bible in 1976, when I was an 11-year-old kid, really even before that, when I was 5 and 6, I was handing it to my neighbor who was 8 and 9 and learning to read, and had them read to me. That was something I needed to know because, again, as I've shared with you guys, my brother had passed, and I wanted to know, where did he go to? And so that lit this fire under me. And when I was 11, that was the first time I read it cover to cover. I made it a point. I was going to start Genesis 1 and finish all the way at the end of Revelation. And I did. And I've read it through many times after that. So what I kept seeing, especially in the Old Testament, is everything is blamed on God, so to speak, when it comes to floods and fires and pestilence and disease and strange pillars to light the way, clouds, etc., etc., Ezekiel's wheels. And the realization that so much that we take as acts of God or just acts of nature, no, it's been technology the whole time. And yes, again, we realize that there are natural cycles, but natural cycles make for a nice excuse when you get down to it. Here you have, Phil Schneider, and I saw somebody bringing this up today about Phil Schneider. He exposed these deep underground military bases. He also talked about the fact that the United States government have machinery, they have technology that can create massive earthquakes. And Phil died a long time ago now. I mean, it's been a long time. He died extremely suspiciously. When you have other people coming out as well, former Raytheon employee Ulrich Hecker exposes Raytheon on how they can produce earthquakes anywhere on the planet. It's not just one person. It's just tons of people. People have talked all about this. This is real. This is very, very real. And you'll have people that will come out and say things like, well, the great Fukushima earthquake, that was actually an attack. HAARP. Again, HAARP can create earthquakes. You have all these people that are not just beer drinking bowlers. These are scientists and people in the know. These are people that have been in top secret projects, and these are many cases people that spoke up, and they're not here anymore. They're not here anymore. So again, they can create, and they do all the time. And yes, when I see them going and drilling and their plans for this, facility, and there's so many of them already under there. You see all these maps that came out, these deep underground military bases, these boring machines. These things are absolutely so real. They've been being used for thousands and thousands of years. Thousands and thousands of years. This is not new technology. It's new to the masses that don't understand what's going on. But all this has been in play. When you look again to the gods dividing up the earth, and some controlling the inside of the earth, inner earth, some controlling, the surface of the earth, and other ones controlling, the atmosphere around the earth. These mythologies are based on reality, and this is all extraterrestrials. It's always been extraterrestrials. And you have the naive that say, well, this is the Most High God. Yeah, that's because he's over there. He's way out there. Hello. It's like, wake up, smell the coffee, throw a little cold water on it. Humanity has been duped. And yet, at the same time, they've done their best to dumb us down from fluoridated water and irradiated everything. It's all been right in front of us the whole time. And of course, Tesla and the earthquake machine, we know this story is based on reality as well. And again, Tesla, many believe that he was actually a Venusian, and that might sound crazy because again, NASA and the science tells us Venus is so hot it can't support life, and that's just absolutely crazy, but the reality is there are those that say no, not the case. And in fact, we've gotten again from our guides, no, there is very much life on Venus, and Venus is a much more benevolent planet than Mars. And isn't it interesting, the whole symbology there? Mars, violence, warfare; Venus, love. Mars, masculine, patriarchal; Venus, matriarchal, compassionate. There is a lot of symbolism here, and so I think we need to look deeper at the symbolism, because the symbolism often hides the truth right in front of us.
Mm-hmm. It does. It hides the truth so extremely well that even if people are hit with certain information, they'll still be in denial, and it's frustrating. It really is, to see people be so indoctrinated that, you can point out the black and white nature of things, and they'll get angry because even though it's real and it's right in front of them, it goes against their belief. But that just goes to show you how important it is to control someone's belief, because you are controlling their whole world. You are controlling them. You're controlling every single move they make. You're controlling everything that they buy. You're controlling their very intuition, their soul. You are controlling the soul if you can control someone's belief. And that's what they do, and we try to point that out as much as possible with every opportunity we could ever possibly get. We point that out so that maybe, just maybe, it will hit someone on the right part of their being, and they'll say, hey, wait a minute, am I one of those that's being controlled? Just ask the question. Have the ability to reflect for yourself, reflect who you are and what you believe. If you can just continually question yourself and your own beliefs, and check yourself, where do you stand? Where is your soul? Is it being controlled? Ask those questions and keep asking, because they continually send this information of manipulation. It's daily. It's in everything we read. It's in everything we touch. It's in everything we watch. So it's something you really need to guard against, to me.
Absolutely. As you watch water being transformed by 432 hertz, and the Rockefellers changed standard C tuning to 440 hertz, Why? Because it's disharmonious. They don't want us being in harmony. They don't want us reaching our potential. They just need us to be their source of energy and labor. And so everything about this matrix is all about keeping human potential down. So, again, understanding the frequencies is key. 432 hertz, by the way, we do have over on Heart's Home, and we will be adding to it these videos. There's 11 videos over there, and it's basically Cindy doing her biofield tuning patterning, which it can help align the chakras, keep your energy body in sync and harmonious while I'm doing 432 hertz guitar. So, this is ambient, and it's good to listen to when you're trying to meditate, ground and root, if you need to get peaceful, and you're having a hard time, anything from sleeping, again, a meditation, yoga, cooking. It's definitely high vibe for like if you're going to be fixing a meal for the family. Please do go over and check it out, and let it saturate your energy field, because it can definitely boost you in more ways than one.
Oh, it helps for sure.
Absolutely. Again, it's all about frequency. This is what we're understanding here. And, again, get as much rest as you need. This is a very, very important time. We are purging. We are letting go of all the dark energies from the Kali Yuga. And they are purposely bombarding us with all the chaos and the fear. It's good to know what's going on and be aware of what's going on. Again, train coming down the track. If you're on that track, you might want to get off, so you got to know it's coming. But again, developing those abilities with a body, mind, breath practice, your ability to sense and to see is going to expand greatly.
It certainly will.
Source bless and namaste.
Namaste.